Hello everyone, this is Mr. C of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy and welcome to Music Theory lesson number 4. Today we are going to continue with rhythm, okay, except that we're going to now create our own rhythm example, okay? So make sure you have two things. Make sure you have your manuscript book that has all your pre-done staff lines, okay, minus the bar lines that I did, minus my measures, okay, which you're going to do on your own, okay, but also have a pencil with you, okay, because we're going to do a lot of writing, okay, and we have here our arsenal of notes that we have gone over in the past lessons, okay. So let's get started. Let's get right to it. So we're composing our own rhythm. We're going to create our own rhythm, okay. Now last time we did like sort of a subdividing of notes, okay. We went from our whole note and then had 2 half notes in the second measure, and then we had 4 quarter notes in the third measure. Today we have 4 measures, okay? So make sure you, again, draw your bar lines, okay? Starting at the very beginning, okay? You're just going to draw one bar line, okay, right here, connecting all the staff lines there, and they're all vertical lines, so you're just doing another one right there that creates the first measure, another one right here, that's your second measure, another one here, that's your third measure, and your last one creates the fourth measure. But the last one, your fourth measure, you're going to have double bar lines, okay? 2 bar lines, 2 vertical lines, just like that. And those double bar lines, if you recall, that's a way of telling us that we're at the end of a song, okay? The double bar lines, again, tells us we're at the end of our song, or in our case, the end of our rhythm piece, okay? Take your pencils now, go all the way back to the left side, okay? And write your meter, which is your 2 number 4s, one on the top and one on the bottom. Notice how I utilize the top 3 lines here, and then the bottom, and then from that midline there, the bottom 3 lines to write the numbers for our meter. And our meter is our 4/4. That is our 4/4 meter. Or remember, the other name for it is time signature. Okay, that's another fancy name for it. I like to use the word meter a lot. So most of the time you'll hear me say meter. Every once in a blue moon, I might say time signature. But we're using our 4/4 meter, which, let's recall what that means. Okay, remember, the meter is the first thing that we look at to know how we're going to approach a song that's already written and how we're going to play it, as well as how we're going to write our song. Okay, it tells us in rhythm wise how we're going to get that started. So our top number says that we have 4 beats per measure. Again, top number tells us the amount of beats per measure. So in every measure, we got to make sure that no matter what notes we use, we have 4 beats in every measure. Okay, only 4, not 5, not less than 4. Okay, must be 4 beats. And the bottom number 4 tells us that, or I should say, it's a symbol of the note that gets 1 beat. Okay, so anytime in our meter, our time signature, that we see a number 4 as the bottom number of our meter, we make sure we understand that that bottom number is telling us, that number 4 is telling us that our quarter notes will equal 1 beat. Okay, if this answer key at the bottom wasn't here, okay, then we'd still have to know number 4 at the bottom of a meter, it means a quarter note receives 1 beat only. Okay, so there you go. All together, what does this meter mean? 4 beats in every measure, quarter note gets 1 beat. Okay, now last time, again, we started with our whole note, which was 4 beats. Okay, then we subdivided it in the second measure. We had 2 half notes. Our half notes equal 2 beats each. Okay, and we had 2 half notes to equal what? 4 beats for that measure. And then in our third measure, we put 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 quarter notes in our third measure to end it. Okay, so that we know there's 1 beat each, and 1 beat each, 4 quarter notes will equal the 4 full beats for that measure. But guess what, guys? Not every song has a subdivision of notes from whole to half to quarter. They don't always have that, okay? Music is a lot more involved, can be a lot more involved, and involved a lot of different combinations of rhythms, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. We have our answer key. We know how many beats are in each note, but there's also this one additive too that we went over a couple of lessons ago. Okay, I believe it was in lesson number 2. We have our dotted half note. Notice that it looks like the regular half note with our note head, empty note head, and the stem. If you remember, those are the stems, okay, because it resembles the stem of a flower, right? But our dotted half note, okay, a dot next to a regular half note adds an extra beat, and therefore our dotted half note becomes 3 beats long, okay? So that's the idea. So now, taking your pencil, okay, let's start in the first measure, okay? Instead of starting with a whole note, okay, like we did last time, let's start with a half note. Let's start with a half note right there. So take your pencil. You're going to go to the bottom space, which is the last 2 lines of your staff, and you're going to write your note head, your empty circle note head right there, okay? You're going to write that there for your half note, and then have the stem vertical line from the top, bottom of the top line of the staff, and make sure you land right there at the right side of that note head, okay? And that is your half note. We're also going to include our counts, our number counts at the bottom of each note. So if we have our half note and that's worth 2 beats, which is 1 whole 2, okay, that's how we clap it and count it. We're going to write underneath it a 1, a dash, and a 2, okay? So when we clap that note, again, you get your hands ready. You can clap along with me right here, and it's going to go 1 whole 2. Now, does that complete the measure? No, we only have 2 beats. We need 4, so that means we need 2 more beats. Why don't we go right to our smallest unit of count here, our quarter note, which is 1 beat each. Our quarter notes are 1 beat each, so take your pencil, bottom space of the staff here. And we're going to draw our stem. And there it is, okay? There is our quarter note, okay? It's not my most prettiest quarter note, but hey, we're not looking for artistry per se. We're just looking to make sure we know what we're writing there, okay? So that is a quarter note, which is only 1 beat. We have the first 2 beats of the measure, so we need what? To get to 4, we need beat number 3, right? However, that still doesn't complete the measure. So now we gotta, what should we add? Should we add another half note? No, because if we add 2 more beats, it will make it 5 beats. Should we add even a dotted half note? Not at all. We really do need to add another quarter note, okay? So, take your pencil, bottom space, okay? Get your shaded note head there, and your stem, okay? And that is beat number 4, okay? So when we clap that rhythm in the first measure, it's gonna go 1 whole 2 for the half note, then beats number 3 and quarter note 4. 1 whole 2, 3, 4. Ah, very interesting just to start off in the first measure, okay? No subdividing this time. Now we're just what? We're just adding some notes, but still playing within the rules of the meter, making sure there's only 4 beats in the measure. Quarter note gets 1 beat, okay? Now, over here, let's go right to our second measure, and let's add our not really a new, because we did this a couple of lessons ago, okay? But let's add our dotted half note, which is 3 beats. It's clapped at 1 whole 2 whole 3. So we're going to add that there in the second measure, the first beat of the second measure, okay? Empty note head, vertical stem right there, and let's have our dot there. Let's put our dot right there, and that is worth 3 beats. So we start off with beat 1, we write a dash, beat 2, another dash for the hold, and beat 3. Okay, so we have a 1 whole 2 whole 3, but still, guess what? It doesn't complete the measure. We need 4 beats for that measure. So what's the only note that we can use that would add 1 more beat to our 3 beats there? Of course, another quarter note. So take your pencil, bottom space, shade in your note head, and add the stem, and you have beat number 4. Okay, so altogether that measure, it goes 1 whole 2 whole 3 4. Okay, that's how that goes. Okay, now we're in our third measure. Okay, we're composing, we're creating, guys. We're creating something different using a combination of these notes. Okay, not just a subdivided order. Okay, but hey, last time we started with the whole note in the first measure. Let's put it in the third measure this time. Why not, right? So take your pencil, bottom space, just an empty note head, just like that, okay? But no stem. Our whole notes don't have a stem. And let's add our counts. It's worth 4 beats. So we have beat 1, hold it to 2, hold 3, hold 4, okay? It's not the best number 4 there, but we're holding for 4 counts. So all we're doing when we're clapping and counting, 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. All right? That is our whole note. Do we add another beat there? Not at all, not a chance. Okay, because if we do that, right, then we're not following the rule of the meter, which is 4 beats. Okay, last measure now. We're on our last measure, and so now instead of using any of our held notes as a starting beat, why don't we use our smallest note, which is our quarter note? So grab your pencil, bottom space of the last measure. Let's write in our note head, shade it in. We'll shade it in because we're doing a quarter note. And stem. Not my best work. But again, we're not looking for artistry here. Okay? So long as you know this is a shaded in note head, and that is our quarter note. Okay? So we're starting with beat number 1 right there. Okay? Beat number 1. Okay, now what do we want to do for the second beat? Hey, why don't we do something weird over here? Something we haven't tried? Let's put our half note as the second beat. Or starting on the second beat. Why? Because our half note is 2 beats long. So we're going to have beat number 2, but then hold over to beat number 3 to make sure that we know that that half note is 2 beats. Okay, it equals 2 beats in value. So we have quarter note 1, then we have beat number 2, hold over to 3. Oh, but we still need 1 more beat to complete what the meter tells us to do, which is our 4th beat. So pencil, bottom space. Let's use our quarter note because that's the only one we can use. Okay. And we have our stem. And that is beat number 4. Okay. So now let's check out the combination of this rhythm right here. It's going to go, watch this. It's 1, 2, hold 3, 4. Okay. So now it changes it dramatically. Okay. So we have this interesting combination, okay, of notes to create a really interesting rhythm, okay? So we're going to start it from the beginning, okay? Let's clap. We've written our masterpiece, but how does it come alive? It comes alive through our performance, right? So now we have to actually clap and count from the first measure all the way to the last measure. We'll do this 2 times, guys, okay, to make sure that we have it, okay? So get your hands ready. You can put your pencils down, get your hands ready, okay? I'm going to give you a tempo count. Remember that word tempo? Tempo count of 4 beats because it is a 4 beats in every measure, right? So I'll give you a tempo count of 4 to show us how fast we should clap it, okay? So it's going to go like this. On my count, hands ready, and here we go. 1, 2, ready. Let's play it. Here we go. 1, hold 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then let's pause a little bit there. Second measure. We have our dotted half note, 3 beats, quarter note 1 beat, and it's going to go 1, hold 2, hold 3, quarter note 4. Then we have our whole note, just hold for 4 beats, okay? Let's do it, guys. Here we go. And 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. And then our last measure, quarter note, we clapped this already. It goes 1, 2, hold 3, 4. Okay? That's how that goes. Okay, but now we did take pauses between measures. If we're performing a song, guess what? We don't take pauses. There's no pauses in between. I mean, unless we mess up a little bit, but that's what rehearsal's about, guys, right? But we're going to go from the first measure all the way now to the last measure without pausing in between, okay? Can we do it? Let's give it a shot, guys. Hands ready? Here we go. And on my count. 1, 2, ready, clap and count. Here we go. 1, hold 2, quarter note, 3, 4, dotted half. 1, hold 2, hold 3, quarter note, 4, whole note. 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, and quarter. 1, half note, 2, hold 3, and 4. And done. And that is how we play, we clap and count all 4 measures of our example. Here's a little thing that you can do, guys, outside of this class, okay? Take your manuscript book, your pencil, and write. Create another 4 measures, okay? But don't copy this one. Create another combination. Compose another combination of these notes that we've learned about and make up your own rhythm, guys. Make up your own rhythm. Let's see how well you guys create your own rhythm, okay? I would definitely love to see that if you're able to post that on the community. Okay, that would be great if I could see your own creation, your own composition of a four-note rhythm, a four-measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, a four-measure rhythm example using these same notes that we learned. And then, and then what you do is you clap and count it. Clap and count your own creation, okay? You can definitely practice this one that we went over, okay? But create your own. Let's see how well you do, guys. And so there it is. That is how we compose a four-measure rhythm example. So friends, thank you very much for joining me in Music Theory Lesson number 4. And as always, I wish you happy practicing. Everyone take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.